Hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Natalee and this is my channel Natalee where I talk about all of my creative endeavors. I'm currently hyper-fixated on knitting, but I also do pottery, recently got into some bead stuff, etc, etc. If you're seeing this is my newest sweater. I'll talk about it more in my next podcast, which I'm planning to film this week. I feel like I've been in a little bit of a filming / editing video slump. I have like a whole bunch of clips, but haven't really talked to the camera in a while. So I want to get back into that habit, and so that's what I'm gonna do today. Just a quick video, and then I'll film my next podcast, which is overdue because I have a lot to talk about for that. But that should come out maybe next week, hopefully. Last week I decided to film clips of every single outfit that I wore, featuring some of the knitwear that I've been wearing, and I wanted to share that and share those with you. And I think this is a little bit different than like an outfits of the week type video because I'm showing every single thing that I wore, every single shoe change, every single, like all my pajamas, like the transitioning between outfits when it gets like cold to warm in a very realistic way. I didn't like plan my outfits, I didn't try to make them cute. It's just kind of a very realistic take on what I actually wear. I feel like it'd be fun to do a version of this video that I actually try in my outfits and see how that affects it. But I have a lot of outfits in this video that I really like and some that I don't. So I just wanted to like share realistically outfit of the week kind of video. These clips aren't very good if you're like want like high quality outfit video content. I can maybe do better in the future if you guys like this kind of thing. It was really fun just to like think about, but yeah, let's just jump right into it before we get carried away with all the blabbery. We're gonna start off with, this was last Sunday morning when I was taking Elmer out to go to the bathroom. I have these like gray sweatshorts that I absolutely love, a dark gray crewneck sweatshirt, which I also really like, my brown Super Berkeys, some REI wool socks, and a Soccer Mommy baseball hat, which is a band that I really like. And I really like this outfit. I feel like it's very simple. I mean, obviously I wasn't really trying. This is just like a comfortable, like run outside outfit, but different shades of grays together I thought was really nice and comfy. And then this, I was just showing you my bathrobe. I have this brown bathrobe with white stripes that I got for me and my boyfriend for Christmas last year. I got him a solid brown one, so I guess my brown color appreciation has been running along. I can't remember the name of the website where I got this, but I know they were like really nice quality, so I'll put that on the screen somewhere. But I didn't want to show every single time I wore this robe, but just know that every time I showered, I wore this before getting dressed. I'm a big robe person. Okay, moving on. So this is Sunday day. I went to the Coffee and Crafting Club, hosted by the Indigo Fox, Isabella. It was my first time going to any type of like knitting, crafting meetup, and I had a lot of fun. I met a bunch of cool people, and I'm excited to go to future ones and maybe future like knit nights as well. But this outfit, I wore my cloud sweater, which you've seen before. It is the cloud sweater by Petite Knit, and I knit in 100% cotton. It's the Blue Sky Fibers organic cotton worsted in the color bay leaf, and I've been wearing it so much. I just love it a lot. The color is perfect. And then I'm wearing them with these dark green, olive green, I don't know what kind of pants these are. Like, what are they, like parachute pants or something like that? I got off Depop. And my yellow Onitsuka Tigers. I love those shoes. I've had them for a few years now, and I just am a big fan of them. And this is an example of me showing my outfit changing. So I put on my bag, which is this navy blue and bright blue. I can't remember the brand of it, but I got it at Goodwill, and I'm obsessed with it. I feel like it goes with everything. And I also put on my, what are they called? AirPod Max. What are the Apple big headphones? Which I don't normally wear them outside the house, but I was walking to the cafe that the craft club was at, and so I just, wanted to finish my audiobook, which I did on the way back, I guess. But that, and then when I got home from that, I ended up changing my pants out to back into my sweatshorts, and I kept my yellow socks that I wear with my Onitsuka Tigers on. So this is just kind of like a change to be comfy around the house. And then before bed, I changed to this white tank top that I have. This is like the most unflattering little clip, but whatever. And then the next morning, I was taking Elmer out for his morning walk, and I put on these cream sweatpants that I got at Goodwill, and they're cool because they're kind of like a barrel leg, and they have that paracord, I guess, in the cuff, so you can cinch them if you want to. And I really like that fit. I feel like it's flattering on my body type. These pants also have like seams at the knees, which create that barrel pant. And my boyfriend always makes fun of me whenever I go thrifting and I come back with cream pants, because apparently that's just like something that I'm just like drawn to for whatever reason. But I wore this with my Zakuri cardigan. This is, I think I showed in my first podcast, but it's a Zakuri cardigan by Noriko Ichikawa, and I knit it in 2 strands of polka dot sheep yarn, Snow Ghost Sport, I believe. And I'm realizing now that it's a really expensive project, but it's holding up well. I really like it. I also was wearing it with the same colorway of the Zakuri cardigan, but the different fiber from polka dot sheep yarn. That's a sock yarn. And I haven't, for some reason, worn them together, even though like that was kind of the intention, the like matchiness of it. And I loved how all of these look together. And then before I went out, I put on my new from Depop brown Merrells, I believe. They're just like slip-on shoes. I actually have 2 pairs of them that I got this month from Depop, and one of them is like the taupey grayish color, and one of them is a dark brown. And that's only because I got the taupey gray color first, and they ended up being a little bit too big, so then I ordered the brown ones. And I think a similar thing happened with my Super Berkeys. I have a brown and a green pair in the same size, but for some reason one of them is bigger than the other. I don't know if it just has to do with the construction of the colorway or something, but I originally was like, oh, I'll just resell the one that's too big, but my thing now is my bigger shoes are where I wear my thicker socks with, and then my smaller shoes I wear my thinner socks. So depending on whatever sock I'm wearing that day or happen to be wearing is how I determine which shoe to wear, I guess. But with this outfit, I wore my brown ones because my socks were a little bit thinner, and I liked the contrast for that. And then later in the day, I threw on my camo Seattle Mariners hat that I got off Depop, and I love it. And my bag again, and I took off my Zakuri cardigan, and I have this like cream t-shirt on underneath it, so kind of a matchy outfit. Then later that day, I showered and I put on a gray sweatshirt, gray sweats, and my zebra striped socks. I haven't been gravitating towards these socks since I knit them, so I feel like I'm happy that I'm like reviewing this and like noticing that I actually am wearing them. But I don't know if I wore them because I was filming or because I like actually would. They're a little bit tight, which I do like because some of my other hand knit socks are a little bit looser. But I think I'd like them better if I had a contrast toe. I think at the time we didn't really have much sock yarn, so I feel like I could reknit them with a contrast toe. And it just feels like it it's just a lot going on. Maybe a contrast heel and cuff too, because I still have some of that yarn left, so maybe that would be the case. And then yeah, these sweats and the sweatshirt are both thrifted. Okay, this was one of my favorite outfits this week, I think, because it feels more like I tried. You know, I didn't really. I just recently thrifted these olive green pants that are really baggy trousers. And I feel like the juxtaposition of like a trouser being this like nice and formal thing and then the bagginess being like really casual, I really liked. So I have on like a black tank top and then my brown Peergynt Vilma top that I recently finished. And I think that week I also changed out all the buttons from originally I had rainbow buttons and I changed them to be white. And I'm really happy that I did that because it feels a lot more wearable. It feels like adding the white buttons to the dark top, I feel like it allows me to play with lighter colors that the rainbows didn't before. So I'm really happy with that decision. And in these clips, I threw them on with my Reeboks, but I ended up changing my shoes, and I don't know how to clip, but I know I have pictures because I posted on Instagram. I changed them to my thrifted Brooks, like ugly running shoes that are in this really cool silver and green colorway. And I really liked that juxtaposition better than my Reeboks because for some reason my Reeboks feel like more of a feminine shoe or a feminine sneaker, which it's not really, but sometimes that I need that for the outfit. But I felt like the running shoes played really nicely with the femininity of the Vilma top and the like masculine bagginess of the pants and added that like athletic or gorpy touch that I needed in this outfit to like be more my style. And then later that day, it got a little bit too hot to wear my Vilma top, so I just took it off and I was wearing my black tank top, throw on my soccer mommy baseball hat again with my super Berkeys. This was just a practical change. And then later on that day, I wanted to take Elmer on a longer walk, so I threw on my Adidas Sambas with this outfit, and I liked that look as well. And then later on, I changed out of my pants into some PJ shorts, and I have a bunch of like pajama shorts or like my short closet, I guess. And I have these like green linen ones that I really like. This was an example of I wouldn't necessarily choose to wear a black tank top with these shorts. I like them better with lighter colors because of that contrast, but realistically this is what I changed into because I didn't want to change my shirt. And then I think this might be the next morning. I was taking Elmer out, so I threw on my green crew neck sweatshirt, my cream socks, not hand knit, and then my brown super Berkeys. Or maybe my green. These are my green super Berkeys for like a monochrome green look. And then I was trying on this sweater before it was fully finished, and I actually really liked how it looks with these green shorts. So I'm happy to wear this with everything these days. But okay, the next day I have on an all white outfit. This is just like a white thrifted t-shirt, and then I have these white pants that are super duper thin, like you can see even like nude underwear in, but I don't really care. Like whatever, they're really comfy. And my recently finished Miss Lady Ladybug socks by Stitched by Cleo. I did a test knit for those, and I think I wore them for the next few days in this video. I decided to change my shirt away from that fitted white one into this light gray, like more muscle tee type shirt, and I liked that better, like the flowiness of it. And then, I don't know, maybe this is the next morning, I threw on a brown sweatshirt and my color block socks that I recently finished as well. And then to take Elmer out, I threw on my Yellowstone baseball hat, which I have a little ladybug pin from Odd's Oddities on Instagram and Etsy, I guess, is where I bought it. And I love it. And I think I have my color block socks on still with my brown Super Birkies. Okay, and then this is an outfit that felt more of like a try, I guess. I was going on a date night with my boyfriend to the Seattle Art Museum, and so I have this brown dress. I don't think I have a clip of just the dress because I preferred it how it looked with my sweater over it, but it's kind of like a short sleeve baby doll type dress, but it's a little bit too small for me. I think it shrunk in the wash, but it actually used to be black, and I did a dye removal on it so that it turned out to this like cool brown color. And I don't really wear it very often because the length of it feels a little bit funny for my height, I guess. It's like right below the knees. But I really liked it with my cloud sweater on top because my cloud sweater is kind of flowy and the skirt's kind of flowy, and it feels like a unique silhouette that like I don't necessarily play around with. And then to balance out the like femininity of wearing a skirt, I threw on my thrifted Patagonia Gorpy sneakers and my bag, which is the same bag that I always wear. And then later that day, this is where we get to the point of outfits that I don't like. And because I ran out of laundry detergent and I was avoiding going to get it to do laundry. So these are like the scraps of my closet. But I have on the Girlfriend Collective like bike shorts in a dark gray color and this blue t-shirt. Lighting is bad because it's nighttime, but I think you'll see that shirt better in a future clip. The next morning I threw on my camo sweatshirt and my ladybug socks. I don't really love the two of these together, but it's just what I threw on. So. And then later that day for a walk, I threw on my green Super Birkies. This is that t-shirt close up again. It's a California shirt, I guess. It's a blue shirt, it has orange poppies and a quail on it. And I feel like I don't love this shirt, and I'm not entirely sure why because I like the colors of it. It feels very like camp counselor to me in a nice way. And then I threw on my baby yellow Mount Rainier baseball hat. I'm a big baseball hat person if you haven't noticed from this video, but I don't know. I wouldn't like choose to wear these gray shorts out as much as I did in this week, and like I honestly haven't worn them in months, but you know, I just had them on. So and then later on when it got a little bit cooler at night and I just was like sick of wearing those shorts, I changed to these navy jogger parachute pants that are from Peachy Den. I got them a while ago, but I really like them, and I threw on my Reeboks with them as well. This outfit was fine. Nothing like exciting or to write home about. And then later that night, I got a little chilly in the house, so I threw on this because I recently had finished it. I think this was pre-block, though. And originally with this sweater, I wanted to be able to like cuff it under like I do my crew neck sweatshirts, but it's not quite tight enough in the ribbing to do that, which is fine. Maybe I can do that for a future one. But I don't like a shirt poking out the bottom of the sweater, but for some reason in these clips I really like it. I feel like the light blue color just adds a little bit of interest to this, even though it wasn't intentionally trying to be interesting. Like I was literally about to fall asleep on the couch in this outfit. And then the next morning, I threw on my gray sweatpants. These are LL Bean wool socks. One of them is inside out, which I didn't really notice until like halfway through that day, just silly. And my camo sweatshirt. My bangs are looking really good in this clip. And I later threw on some shoes, and these are like the light gray, taupey gray version of those Merrells that I mentioned before. And the LL Bean wool socks are pretty thick, and so they work well with those shoes. I really liked the vibe of this. Oh, I also threw on my camo Mariners hat. And for some reason, every once in a while, I feel like wearing my camo hat with my camo sweatshirt. It feels silly. Like sometimes I feel a little bit odd wearing camo print because I don't want to be seen as like a hunter type person. But I feel like it needs more like fashion. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about camo print because it's one of the only prints that I really like because it feels more like naturey and like gorpy, I guess. But I'm hoping it doesn't read in the wrong way. Yeah, this is just sweats and a sweatshirt, and I believe that's everything that I wore that week. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this of seeing how I like knit or wear my knitwear throughout the week in a realistic sense. Like I said, I feel like it'd be interesting to do more of a fashiony version of this where I like try to make fun outfits, but that's not necessarily my complete vibe. I like want to get there, and I feel like there's a lot of cool outfits that like I could make with the clothes that I have in my closet, but this is just realistic, and I'm trying to be pretty real on the internet these days. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'll be putting out a new podcast soon. So, like, comment, subscribe, all of those things if you want to see more information about this sweater and some of my other finished objects. Stay tuned and follow me on Instagram at knit.alee over there. I've been posting really regularly there and on my stories and all that stuff. So, yeah, thank you. Bye.